niggas, you know that they with me. You know that they with me. You puffin' on EQ, I grew with me and she rollin' up sticky. She rollin' up sticky. I can't fuck with niggas, I can't fuck with people, cause niggas is tricky.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome in to the Millia tips and tricks guide. I'm going to just show you a few tips and things that you can do with Millia that can probably help you improve your own gameplay, and just a good reminder to some who may end up forgetting. So I don't know how long this video is going to be, but we're just going to go over a few things. We'll start off with some basic stuff, and then we'll move on to maybe a few more advanced strats. I'm trying to make this as short as possible, that way you can watch this and get as much knowledge in as possible. So let's get started. First things first, Millia's 2K 2D. Alright, this is what you want to be using the most, and then you want to go into your ring. You want to go into your tandem top every time. As soon as you get it, and you see that right there, you have options, right? At different ranges will determine if you're right up on them. Of course, it's going to go out a lot farther, so it allows you to go over even more. Of course, at max range, you're going to land in front, you won't be able to get the cross up. And of course, at mid range, you can kind of fake that you're going to do it. Another great tool for Millia players is whenever you're in this 5K, you can hit it 3 times at close range. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then, oh god, you can also combo it into your dust. So you can combo your 5K into your 2D, and of course you can dash afterwards and put them in a mix of whether they have to guess of you doing a high or a low. Next up, you can easily, maybe not easily, it all depends on what you play on and whether you have a dash button. I personally don't have a dash button, but when you jump in, right, you can dash and dash again. That right there is a very good mix-up. It works on people who tend to crouch after everything, and if you jump in on them, most people are going to block up high first, and then they're going to go into this position because most characters don't double dash. And of course, if you do a neutral jump and you don't dash, right, or not a neutral jump, if you just do a regular jump, you have 2 dash options, so they have to block the first one, and then you can either cross them up or slightly delay it to in order to mix them up. And of course, if you delay it, you can go into your 2K 5D and put them in a mix. A great tool for you to use with Millia is her 6H. Right, this move right here, it's really good. Not only does it avoid grabs, so it's good to just run up and do. All right, not only does it avoid grabs, but it's also, since it's airborne, you can also cancel it into your rows. This is a good way to mix people up, and it's a good way to reset. All right, let's put them in the air so you can see how to use this. And you see that right there? It carries them to the wall, and that's kind of where you want to be at. You want to take them to the wall, so that way you can easily just go ahead and have that corner pressure. Millia's favorite place to be is in the corner. Of course, with you being on the outside, because you control what's going to happen They have to constantly play this guessing game. Of course, if they have a DP, you have to be wary because even when you do your loop, people like Soul, Leo, Kai, anybody with a DP can find a way out. Of course, you can make it safe, right? You see that? That's why her 6H is so good. Because it leads to corner and it can break wall fairly easily. Another great tip from Millia is during her 5S up close, you can cancel it into a bad mode. You have to press up after the first or second hit, depending on what you want to do. Okay. After the first or second hit, you can cancel and you can jump cancel, and you can input bad moon. And if you do it fast enough, it's practically instantaneous, so it's an instant overhead. And of course, if you mix this into your game plan enough, you can do stuff like that. You're wondering what's the best option here with your 2S? It's fairly simple. You can go with the short tandem top, alright? Short tandem top, or you can stay with the pressure. Of course, if they're mashing jab, it's going to jab you. Alright? And of course, if you don't want to do that, you can also just and then back up. You know, I know this isn't the best option, but it is an option. And if you're expecting them to like mash out DP or super, depending on which super, of course, you can get out of there. Next up is your 6P. A lot of people, I won't say a lot of people, some people forget that this is your anti-air button. This is going to be your best button to stop people from jumping in. This right here, this is going to become your best friend. It's a good way to approach people, because if they swing high, you'll have that upper body invincibility. Now, this doesn't work on all characters clearly, but for the characters that might swing kind of high, you can just run up and 6P. Or if you think they're going to jump a lot. And it's great to RC. And it just leads to a nice combo. Something very simple. And you can burst bait them. You can do this, they'll burst out of it because they're terrified, especially if you keep catching them with it. Alright. You keep catching them with this, they become terrified. Another technique that I've seen other Millia players use is they'll do their 6H into what's the move called? Turbo fall. I've seen them do that. I don't recommend this just because you don't recover as fast, right? Or you recover about the same. But the rose is like a safety net. Like if they decide to press a button, it hits them. Alright? To me, the rose is always a good option. Especially in the corner. If you get a counter hit in the corner, depending on the character, it'll catch them and you can combo up with a 5S into a forward or into a 6H. Remember, you want to mix them up. You want to do your 5S into a bad moon. That way you can mix them up and catch them off guard with stuff like that. And here's another thing, right? This move right here, I want to say is Millia's best poke in terms of approaching, because her Look how long it takes her to recover from that. It takes her so long to recover. While yes, it's the farthest reaching. It's the farthest reaching. But it takes her so long to recover. Look at that. Let's say I want to poke somebody and they jump at me. It takes so long to recover. So I say this is your best one. It has pretty solid reach, and you recover fairly fast. So it's a good way to check them. Of course, you can also do your jab. It has pretty solid range as well. They're about the same, of course. This is faster. But I think your 5S has a slight bit more range, and it does a little bit more damage. And of course, on hit, you can have more hit stun. You cannot jump cancel it though. This is good if you're trying to approach safely. Alright. The only problem with her jab is that it hits very high, so if they're crouching, you have no way of checking them. That's the only problem with this. It only hits people who are standing up, and you can't really approach with this. This has no range, right? This hits people standing or crouching. Okay, last but not least, your 214, I believe, your 214P. Alright. This move, I'd say it's very good to use in situations, run up, you know, if they're not expecting it. You can catch them off guard. However, I don't recommend doing this move a lot. You can kind of end up falling into it just because, you know, Millia doesn't have a lot of safe options in terms of moves. The reason why I say don't fall into using this too much, because it's punishable on block. Like everybody has a good punish for it, and Millia doesn't need to be getting punished enough as is. The best thing you want to do here is, like, if you do catch somebody with it, you know, you might want to drift RC. Depending on what you're using it, when you're using it, like let's say you want to use it in your combo, right? Look at this. Oh gosh. Get that red RC. Look at that. That's really good damage, right? The only issue is, right, is you have to time it right. Because if you don't, you'll get that where it doesn't catch them at all. But that's all the tech I have for you currently. I will be coming back with more tech, of course. As you saw, I just kind of learned something right there. The rose into a quick little drift RC, into a jump K. I think that's pretty good. But we're all still learning. There's plenty of more tech to be discovered, but I just wanted to give y'all a little quick something to, you know, help your Millia gameplay. And if you want to see me play Millia live, I'm on twitch.tv/ValiantStride. I know Lord Knight is one of the most veterans. He's among the veteran players with Millia. I'm trying to get up there too to teach more people how to play her, and we'll see what we get. To all you Millia players, I understand the struggle. Don't stop the grind. Keep going, and we'll get there. All right. Until next time, as I always say, oh yeah, let's eat. Peace.